So now we're introducing other people. This is Pam from Falconry. She's been here forever, and Pam absolutely loves Harrisawk, so here we are. She's walking him around and carrying him. He's getting used to other people, and hopefully at this point I've already told you why. So I've been out with the eagle hunting, and little Henry's spent the day at my friend Mike's place. Still a little bit vocal, but hopefully, yeah, look what's happened. So Dan's been back. I forgot to tell him because he wasn't here. There's Dan's young female hawk, and I think Henry can see it. So one thing for sure, guys, if you've already got especially a mature Harrisawk, and you get another youngster, I wouldn't put it in sight of that mature bird at all to start with. It will often start calling for food like that. Worse still, if you... Shut up! Worse still, if you've already got a screamer, a vocal Harrisawk, and your new one can hear it, it'll start it off as well. Not a problem for me, but a problem in your garden. Okay, so some interesting stuff there on the creance line. Yesterday I was out hunting with Zeus, had very little time to do really anything with Henry. My dog's whining in the back of the van. I had very little time to do anything with Henry. I was out with Zeus. I took him up to Mike's place. I did 3 call-offs on the creance line, very short, at Mike's breeding centre, so somewhere different again. I weathered him out on Mike's weathering lawn, and before that I fed him the rest of his meal on the glove. Now remember, it's really important at this stage, if you are, you're beginning your manning and your training, vary up. This is where the bird's the most impressionable. If he's coming well on the creance, try him somewhere else, or at least in a different part of your training field. They can get very much settled in familiarity, and the bird you think is coming beautifully on your creance line, instantly fly in a different field and it won't want to know. It'll be too worried and nervous about the whole strange settings. Do all your chopping and changing with your clothes, your area, if you like, at this stage. When I'd finished hunting, Mike, myself and another couple of falconers, we had a coffee at Mike's, and Henry was on the glove, just preening himself, standing on one leg, in an indoor setting. Honest to goodness, I thought I'll pull over here and film somewhere quiet. And he was totally chilled out in a different indoor space with different people around him. So he's doing really, really well. Creance training again in a few minutes, and then, to be honest, for Henry, if he behaves as I hope he will, I'll be flying him free. Now that's going to mean I'm going to be putting his leg bell on. You could have put that on at any time from collection up till now for sure. I'm going to bell him up in the next couple of days, ready to fly free. And I'm also going to attach his telemetry tail mount. Now check out this video. I'm in a country lane that is the M1. Goodness me. Check out this video, a video I've already done, and that'll talk you through telemetry mounting. If you haven't at this stage looked into tying a falconer's knot, check out this video just to show you the basic falconer's knot, because you've been using it, or I've been using it all the way, of course, up till now. Let's just have a quick recap. The first 5 days to a week or so, we've been putting that bird out. We've been picking him up from the mews overnight. We've picked him up in the morning, hooded overnight, so he wasn't terrified and scared and bashed around as we approached him in the morning. We've put him out on a nice shady spot in the summer. We haven't put water out until now. Now we have put water out because he's chilled, but we didn't put water out at the beginning in case he dived into his bath when he baited and drowned. It does happen. We've unhooded him after placing some food to the side or behind him on his weathering lawn, and we've walked away and spied on him or left him alone to eat. We haven't fed him on the glove for those first few days, but what we have done between those feeding sessions is we've took him everywhere we can think of. We've manned him riding at the deep end to everything and anything, indoors and outdoors, anything we can think. Traffic, children, dogs. You've had your dogs running around him if you trust them. You've had your ferrets on display to him in their hutch if you have them. So all this time he's seen all this stuff, but we've done no feeding on the fist, and we've not let him really associate us with food at all. We've hidden while he's fed comfortably on his own. So at the end of that week, We've got a bird that's eating really relaxed. It's just seeing its food, eating. We've let it eat as much as it wants. We've also manned it to everything, but we haven't let it get stressed because we've hooded him at the point we think, oh, he's getting a little bit too nervous, and we've backed off from the situation and unhooded him. As that few days drew to a close, we've got a bird that's still nervous of us, but it's gone from being scared of us to quite accepting now of us and our surroundings, and it's eating well on its own on the perch. So now we've changed it up. We've stopped feeding in our property, in our garden at all, and we've offered him food on the glove, and he would have fed quite quickly despite still holding his weight and still being fed as much as he wants to eat for that first few days because he's relaxed. He's fed quite quickly on the glove. We've given him 1, 2, 3, whatever your bird's like, 4 days of feeding on the glove, not in our garden, while we're out and about. Once he's become very relaxed to sort of start feeding on the glove straight away, might take a day, it might take 4 days, we've started hopping him to the glove, and then we've got onto the creance line. So comfortably, within a couple of weeks, we've got a bird that's now coming to us well on the creance line. My bird's too easy. Your bird might be more nervous, and you've not pushed him, but you've also thought, he's eaten, he knows what to do now. He's coming 2 metres on the creance easily, and he knows what to do. He's not too nervous, but he won't come 5 metres. So we've walked back, we've picked him up, we've not fed him anything. We've put him away, or put him on the weathering lawn, and we've not fed him until later on when we've tried again, or the next day. You've weighed him in the morning, his weight's lowered a tiny bit because he didn't have as much food this time. The nerves are now pushed back by the more need or the more desire to eat. So it's boosted his confidence. Now he's coming 6 metres, 10 metres, 20 metres. He's regulated his own weight. You haven't had to cut his weight at all because you're treating him kindly and you're manning him by putting the work in, not trying to force a bird to fly to you by starving it. That's not the way to do falconry, and it's certainly no way to work with a Harris's hook. They just don't need that kind of attitude whatsoever. So now you're pretty confident, and it's time to think about flying him free. The biggest problem, the biggest mistake a beginner will make is you'll try and call it 100 yards on the creance line. Listen, push yourself, 30 yards if you want. It doesn't need to come more than 30 yards on a creance line. It just needs to be responsive, and at this stage, come pretty much as soon as you call it. Focusing on you. You also don't need it on the creance line for 6 months. Listen, this is going to be day 3, I think, of Henry on the creance line. Even though he's had a day off yesterday, if he's responsive today, he'll be going free tomorrow or the next day for sure. You gauge it, but don't keep that bird on the creance line unnecessarily. And of course, you've made recordings every morning, so let's have a look here. We've got the bird's name, we've got the time of weight, we've got whether we weighed it or not, but we've weighed it there. We've got notes such as how well the bird flew and how much food it was given, how we greased the jesses and the anklets, changed its water and so on. Keep yourself a notebook or a clipboard like this and keep those basic things in there. The most important being the time you weighed the bird, the weight of the bird, and what you fed it, and really how it performed. And then over time you'll be able to gauge different food qualities, different weights and so on, different temperatures. We always put down here the weather as well. You'll be able to gauge a set of statistics, if you like, a block of information, and it will give you some idea of how your bird is going to respond at certain weights after eating certain foods at different temperatures. Okay, a couple of things. One, we've got a hedge cutter in the background. It's Wingus. These set of videos, the whole of this channel isn't about cinematography. It's about helping you guys out. It is warts and all, and weather and all. I know that makes it arduous. It's windy again now. There's a reason for that. I did have a little mic. It all went, it's up. But for now, today's job, he weighs half an ounce heavier than he has done. Possibly because he ate more yesterday and he did no real exercise. But also, I've accidentally just soaked his tail with a hose by accident, cleaning his perch. So he weighs more because he's wetter. So we've got, hold on, you're going to get dizzy. Meow. Emily on the camera. We've got Ursula over there. And we're going to, this is today's plan. Full length of the creance. We'll see. He has got a wet tail. And to see if he'll fly to other people. For me and his job, that's important. Harris hawks can get very possessive. Females, as they mature, can be a nightmare if you fly them one-on-one. I would at least have your partner or your mate fly your hawk as well. It doesn't have to fly to everyone, Get them used to flying to at least one other person. But I'll tell you now, that is not a kid's pet. And it has the ability, if it's nervous or possessive of food, to grab your kids in the face. You asked my son, when he was a little boy, he had to wear a crash helmet to help fly my first Harrishook. That is stupidity and not how falconry should be. It's not for children. Really, we really say, unless you've got really good mentoring, yeah, and then some really, and a good parent, I think 16 years old and upwards, just because you're bigger and tougher and your reactions are probably a little bit quicker. They're not a kid's pet. The loveliest bird in the world can jump up and grab you in the face. Equally, when you're weighing a bird, if you weigh it and hooded, have it secured to your glove, have your hand on the jesses. It's not your pet, it's not your mate all the time, and it's going to jump up in your face. Treat it with sensible respect. Okay, so we're going to do little one first, remember? Whet the appetite, remind them how easy it is, and then moving forward. We're going to try not to end up feathering down the creance line gently because I've spooked him because I wasn't ready. Feathering it down so much he's in a tree. But he didn't do anything yesterday to speak of. Don't put the hood in your pocket, remember. Put it somewhere sensible, not necessarily on your ear. Creance line secured under your little finger, you've got control. Something else we're going to talk about today is a variable reward. So I've now, instead of just 4 or 5 pieces per chick, we've chopped these chicks up into maybe 7 pieces. Some tiny chick leg, some bigger. He's confident enough now that he's going to come for different rewards. Soon he's not even going to see the food in the glove, but for now he still is. But he might get smaller or bigger bits now. We're stretching it out a little bit. We'll talk more about the no food as we go on. Remember to relax, let him eat the food. Let him be sure there's nothing else left. We don't want all that grippy, sticky footiness because he's possessive over his food. That'll also come if you cut the weight down too hard. Okay. But you can see sticky footed just a little bit. Still hanging on there. And try and get away from him. Keep an eye on him. Don't let him land on your shoulder. Whoa. Got a twig. We're going to go full distance to the creance. I'm going to tell you it's 20 yards. I have no idea. Called him. Gloves up. With a soaking wet tail, he made it. We'll give him one more like that, maybe 2, and then we'll swap over. His job's to fly to strangers, not just one falconer. It's really important for our life to be easy and his. Impressionable age. Get your bird immersed in all of this now. And walk him back. Windy today. First time in real wind. Spooked. Tried to send him back further. Spooked him. I'll call him off the ground. Might be spooked. Henry. Look at the mess of this line. It's a hateful thing and it needs to be gone. Keep an eye on him because this bird's keen. No food in the glove. Doesn't matter, it's all going to be part of the next bit of training, but he made it so. Hold on. Feather the line down, he doesn't want to go back to that sea perch. Henry! 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 Bigger reward in that time, a bit more confidence. So he wasn't confident to return to the T-perch, he's actually rather go for the trees. He had a taste of them the other day. One more confidence builder, then we're going to push him again. Try again. At this stage you might find it hard to get away from your bird. Make sure it's had plenty of food the day before. The keener it is, the more of a boomerang it will become. You can see he's pretty confident. If your bird veers off and is brought down by the creance gently, don't be surprised if you have to go kneel down beside him and hop him up to the glove. He might just keep trying to fly away, lose his head a little bit. That's normal. Right, so we're going to pop his hood on, we're going to swap around, and we're going to get Ursel to have a bit of food ready. See if he'll fly to someone else. Come on over, Ursel. I might try and cut this down in length a bit. So we're going to do the same thing.
Oh.
Or not. Yeah, hold on. A little bit, so pop it in, Ursel. Have it on show,
Yeah.
but just keep it hidden until I say.
Okay.
That'll do mine.
Huh? That's like sticks. Because they're all wet.
Go for it, Ursel. Tap the glove. I've got my glove down. Just secure that just secure that lasset on your little finger or something, that's fine. Always want to get security, could bounce up into your face, so no problem. We'll try it with Emily. Mind the tree, Ham? Just go with him, gently a little bit, that's it. Okay, so this is good for us because like I say, we've had too much easy. So he's got a bit of food from his crop into his tummy, edges off his appetite, and he balked to Emily. Now it might just be Emily, but we'll see. So Emily's gonna get a little bit closer and see if she can jump him up. She can't just walk towards him, she's got to keep control of that line or she's just gonna make the line longer or nearer to the tree. So one thing you can do at this stage is actually just walk along your creance line. So you're keeping it down on the ground and standing on it. Let's see what he does. Remember, he's never flown to Emily before, he's never flown to Ursel before. Just try him there, Em. It's just from this bird, he's got to get used to flying to anyone. So he might as well start now as 6 weeks down the line. Look at that. So just a little confidence thing. I'm going to give him a couple more to me just so I can gauge if he's he's gone off the boil a bit. Is he half? He has got a wet tail, but don't forget, he's at least as heavy as he always has been, if not a bit heavier today. So we might have reached a point where, yeah, he needs to just pull that weight down just a little bit to get that full concentration before he's flying free. Go on. This is how your hawk may well have behaved on the creance line so far, and hence why you might have had to think, okay, no more food today, you'll be keener tomorrow. Here he comes. He's going to veer off, Emily.
Yeah.
Don't let him get to the trees. Lovely. There you go. So you can see you're bringing your hawk down gently. So great for me. So another thing, don't forget that the weight is at now. The weight has always been out. We've had freezing cold permafrost days. It's 12 degrees today. Warmer system, doesn't need as much food to get through the night. It probably just hasn't got quite the edge. And I'm pushing him, remember. He's now going to strangers, but he certainly flew to herself without a hitch. He's balked at Emily a little bit. Emily's going to hop her up to the glove, and I'll definitely, on this time, I'm going to give him one attempt to fly to me so I can really gauge where he is at based on the previous days. Long legs of the Harrishook makes him great for running under the desert scrub, pushing out prey for their bigger female siblings and parents.
Oh, he's getting all
So
wet.
as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's trying to dry off.
So he's got his wings wet as well as his tail now. But you can see his obsession with those trees. He had a taste of a tree, didn't he, 2 days ago? And they're just pulling him in like a magnet. We are pushing him. It's the only way I can get things to go wrong with this bird. You've seen him in his training. He's been kind of so easy. It's probably not fair on people watching this, thinking, hang on, I'm struggling and Dave made it look so easy. He's been easy. We're pushing him, and we are getting some of the cock-ups that you're going to do in the course of action. Okay, so just a confidence thing, different people, different things. I'll just give them a big reward though, because don't forget, we want to end on a high. That's it for today. That's told me all I need to know. I'm definitely going to do another day on the creance. I wasn't going to. I'm going to do another day on the creance, and then we'll probably get to see what we do when your hawk won't come out of a tree. Nice big reward. Don't forget, keep your hands in there, keep your fingers in there. Oh, that horrible yucky bit. By all means, keep your fingers in. Remember what we said. Look at all the previous videos. None of these are standalone. This is a set, and if you don't watch the whole set, you're going to get things out of context. You're going to miss stuff. Yeah, you're going to kind of make your IKEA furniture, possibly so if you're a man watching this, and you're going to have bits left over at the end because you didn't read the instructions. It's as simple as that. I'm going to do a good crop today. We're going to do it all again tomorrow. And tomorrow we're going to start modifying his weight if we need to increase the confidence, like it looks like we need to, just ahead of flying free. I could have had this bird flying free easily 2 or 3 days ago, because I could have cut his weight down, got him really hungry, created problems for myself in the future, sticky footedness, more vocalization, horrible manners, aggression. We don't need to do any of that. We can just bring the weight down now over the next couple of days and get him free.
Eerie.
Okay, so hooded on the glove. Look at that crop. I mean, this is the last blowout he's going to get, I'm sure. We've just put a little buoy on. Don't cable tie bells to the back of your bird's anklets here, especially a small bird like this. They're going to dangle down under its feet, wear on its leg, really get in the bird's way. Learn how to do a proper buoy. I'll put a book on the screen, or I'll tell you in a second some good advice of where to find some info, but a nice leather buoy or something similar. Never cable tie straight to the bird's leg. A little bird doesn't want a cable tie with a bell hanging down there. And we very quickly put a very cheap tail mount crimp on there. Again, earlier in the video I've directed you to various ways to mount your telemetry. His little tail, he's having a little crimp and a micro tail mount. And apart from the purposes of this video, he's not going to be for hunting. He's going to be for experience days and flying around in school halls and such like as part of my educational team. He shouldn't be, hopefully, diving into thick cover on his terrible tail.